Okay, this is the last chapter of part 1 of the book, Living in the Flow, which is the title, Living in the Flow. So living in the flow is really the sweet spot of the conversion of your 3 highest priorities. Having an awareness of your constant connection to source energy and tapping into that power, finding your life's purpose, and developing your intuition. What happens when you have those as your highest priorities? In turn, you then live on purpose, live a guided life, guided by your intuition towards your purpose, living a guided life, and then living with faith. That is trust without reservation that things are going to work out for you. So when all these 6 conditions exist at the same time, that really is living in the flow. The way I describe it in the book is this. Living in the flow is like living like water. Water flows, flowing, moving with the current, going with the flow of life itself. It's the absence of friction and resistance. It's easy going. If you could live like water, you too would live in the flow. So our question is, how does this translate into your life? What does this all mean for you? Well, exactly what I said. When you have an awareness of your connection to source, find your life's purpose, live in alignment with that purpose, accessing your intuition for guidance, you're then in the flow. You're guided just like a stream is guided. All streams flow downwards towards the sea. So it explains here how to actually live in the flow, and it describes how you know that you're living in the flow from a physical level, an emotional level, a mental level, a social level, a spiritual level. And then, of course, some stories. And then in here, I share with people a book that I read called The Surrender Experiment. And if you haven't heard of this book or read it, I highly recommend it. This book changed my life. I have to say that. And The Surrender Experiment it's astounding, the stories of Michael A. Singer, when he did surrender to life and just went with the flow of life and said yes to whatever showed up with his whole heart and stopped questioning things with his own agenda, got off his own agenda. And in that book, he mentions other books, and one of them is this one, The Autobiography of a Yogi by Yogananda. My friends, this book changed my life so profoundly, I haven't got words to describe it. I thought I understood the nature of reality and how life works until I read this book from cover to cover. And there's so much in this book. It is so astounding. You'll learn so much about the truth of reality and life. You'll never see life through the same lens again. And I have to say, I would recommend it as a must read. So that's that book. So then just about living in the flow, I do also, like all other chapters, give you a bit of a hint at the end on how you can do that and what the benefits are for you. And really, it's just knowing this, that living in the flow and keeping that flow going does not happen by accident. You don't just get all these 6 things and then now you're living in the flow and everything's really cool. And no. Life's not like that. To live in the flow, it takes awareness, it takes intentional action, it takes faith, purpose, listening to your intuition, and going with that guidance. That's going with the flow. And it's saying yes to things that come your way, trusting in the direction of the flow of life, even when it seems different from your own agenda or your own thought out path or your own timing. And then a whole lot more here. So I hope that's been helpful. And I'll share a little bit more about part 2 of the book. This was, as I said, was part 1, which is your highest priority. Part 2 is living beyond yourself. Otherwise, have a wonderful day and God bless.